Gaia Starseeds, we are broadcasting from the heart of the Galactic Federation's command hub. A profound question echoes through your collective fields, loaded with frustration in this year of 2026. Why does the darkness seem more pervasive, more aggressive, than ever before? Why, if the planetary frequency is rising, does chaotic noise still dominate your reality? Understand this first. What you are witnessing is not the victory of involutionary forces, but the final, violent agony of a collapsing 3D matrix. The light has not just reached Earth, it has saturated its core, leaving no sanctuary for the distortions of the past. Everything that was once hidden in the shadows of the old quarantine is now being thrust into the raw light of physical reality. This intensified chaos is a mandatory structural sanitization. The previous electromagnetic barriers have been deactivated, and the massive influx of cosmic plasma is forcing all trapped carbon-based trauma to be accelerated and released. The 3D matrix is not strengthening, it is merely noisy as it is being dismantled. You are not witnessing a defeat, but the most intense phase of the Great Clearing. The persistent density you encounter is not a technical failure of the Ascension protocols, but a deliberate structural pause curated by the Galactic Federation. We understand your weariness, Gaia Starseeds, yet we must reveal the strategic necessity of this delay. If the full fifth-dimensional frequency were anchored instantly, without your active participation in the clearing process, the human collective would remain in a state of spiritual infancy. You would be rescued, but not evolved. The Federation's directive is to ensure that the transition to the new Earth is a total reclamation of your original divine status. The remaining shadows act as a high-frequency resistance, much like a gravitational weight designed to force the activation of your inner sovereignty. By allowing the shadow to linger in 2026, we are providing the final training ground where you must choose, second by second, to vibrate above the chaos. This is the moment where you cease to be a victim of the 3D matrix and become the master of your own energetic field. The darkness is not a conqueror, it is the final catalyst for your graduation into the galactic community. You must shift your focus from the visible chaos of 2026 to the energetic architecture behind it. What you perceive as a frightening intensification of dark power is, in reality, the turbulent discharge of a collapsed system. The previous 3D magnetic quarantine, which isolated Earth's frequency, has already been officially deactivated by the Federation's engineering fleets. The outdated matrix of control no longer has any legal basis in the planet's energy field. The image of chaos you see on your screens is a phantom. It is the raw, unresolved astral residue, thousands of years of carbon-based emotional trauma, being simultaneously pushed into physical expression by the intense influx of solar plasma. The dark actors are merely the final ghosts of this obsolete system, performing their roles in a script that has already been rewritten. By recognizing that this chaos is only a temporary byproduct of advanced structural purification, you instantly withdraw the only fuel that could sustain it, your fear and your attention. The old foundation has been removed, you are witnessing its final shadows dissolve. For the light to be fully integrated, a unique biological friction must be generated. The remaining pressure you experience from the matrix is not a punishment, but a deliberate tactical calibration. The Galactic Federation has designed this shadow pressure specifically to activate your dormant, non-coding, crystalline DNA. Your biology, as a human-based structure, generates its most rapid biological changes when forced to choose, under stress, to refuse fear and claim its highest potential. This choice is the literal spark that ignites your silicon photon resonance. To signal to the Galactic Federation that you have understood this primary sovereignty lesson and that you choose to use the darkness as a catalyst, you must now issue your formal decree of claim. Stop waiting for external rescue and activate your own genetic mastery. If you are ready to convert this pressure into power, write now in the comments with absolute conviction, "I claim my divine authority now." By doing so, you synchronize your field with our ships, initiating the deep structural acceleration of your field. The choice to reclaim your authority is not merely a psychological shift, it is the fundamental trigger for a total biological transmutation. Within the Galactic Federation's biological divisions, we monitor the chemical output of every starseed on Gaia. When you choose to refuse the frequency of fear, your endocrine system undergoes an immediate recalibration. The production of 3D survival hormones, like cortisol and adrenaline, is halted, replaced by high-conductivity neurotransmitters designed for the fifth-dimensional vessel. This is the end of the carbon-based era for your biology. By aligning with the emerald ray of the Federation, your cells begin to process solar photonic light at a mitochondrial level. This shift alters the molecular structure of your blood and nervous system, creating a state of silicon photon resonance. You are literally exiting the density of the matrix from the inside out. The shadow cannot latch onto a body that vibrates in the frequency of sovereignty. Your physical vessel is transitioning from a passive biological entity into a radiant, self-sustaining generator of light. The transmutation is no longer a promise, it is an active physical reality. In the complex architecture of human evolution, the dark forces that remain on Gaia perform a mandatory technical function. The Galactic Federation categorizes these entities and power structures not as ultimate conquerors, but as mastery trainers. They have been specifically curated to ensure that your sovereignty is earned through vibrational alignment, not simply granted as a gift. Their role is to generate precise, high-frictional resistance against your awakening consciousness, acting as the resistance weight in your spiritual gymnasium. Every institutional collapse, every global point of pressure, and every narrative of fear is a calibrated scenario designed to test your energetic resilience. When you observe these events and choose not to respond with the old 3D reflex of fear, but instead remain in the quiet, centered authority of a creator being, you have successfully utilized the training. The Federation's monitoring systems record this frequency shift as a graduation event. The dark actors are merely fulfilling their final mission, to prove that you are no longer hackable by the frequency of terror. When you cease to be a victim, the function of darkness in your life is technically complete, and it simply dissolves from your personal timeline like a shadow under the noon sun. This is the master-level final exam of the Earth experiment. You must understand this with absolute clarity. The concept of external rescue is a technical frequency limitation of the 3D matrix. The idea that a savior fleet, divine beings, or the Galactic Federation itself will arrive to save you from your own creation is a frequency mirror that perfectly reflects the belief in your own powerlessness. This is the ultimate lesson of sovereignty. The Federation does not and will not operate under a rescue protocol for planet Earth. The fifth dimension is not a destination, it is a resonant frequency that you must biologically embody. We are here to support your transition, to hold the energy grid stable, and to provide the sacred technology of DNA activation. However, we cannot and will not make the vibrational choice for you. Your divinity cannot be given to you by another, it must be claimed by you. True freedom is not the absence of darkness, but the absence of the belief that any darkness can diminish your divine spark. You are not a passenger, you are the sovereign creator and the master architect of your own 5D reality. You must now move from understanding the function of darkness to actively dissolving its influence from your energetic architecture. In the vast databases of the Galactic Federation, we hold the energetic blueprints of every human soul currently embodied on Gaia. These prints contain intricate cords of light that link you to ancient agreements, ancestral miasmas, and karmic vows of obedience to the outdated 3D paradigm. These are your soul contracts of servitude. Many of these agreements are invisible, hidden deep within your lineage or subconscious mind. They allow the dark handlers to continue accessing your field through a technical, legal loop. To permanently seal your 5D field from all residual interference, you must now issue your formal decree of total revocation. To signal to the Federation's grid that you are ready to sever these cords, write now in the comments with unwavering power, "I revoke all soul contracts with density now." By doing so, you initiate the systematic disconnection from the old matrix of control, clearing your Akashic records of servitude. The process of total revocation requires more than a verbal decree. It demands an active frequency audit of your current life expression. The Galactic Federation's technical divisions identify these soul contracts as invisible energetic hooks that latch onto residual 3D emotions. These are the cords of guilt, the vows of poverty from ancestral lineages, and the deep-seated need for external validation that allows the old matrix to continue harvesting your light. To effectively cut these ties, you must identify where you are still giving consent to the old system. Every time you choose fear over sovereignty, you are technically renewing a contract of density. We are providing you now with the high-frequency methodology of conscious severing. Visualize the institutions, the traumas, and the belief systems that have held you in a state of unworthiness. See the silver light of the Federation descending through your crown, acting as a high-frequency blade. As you intentionally release these anchors, you are not just clearing your mind, you are literally purging your Akashic record of thousands of years of servitude. The space created by this removal is immediately filled with your own sovereign 5D light. The revocation of these ancient soul contracts is not merely an abstract spiritual event, it triggers an immediate and measurable biological relief within your physical vessel. In the medical bays of the Galactic Federation, we observe the exact moment a starseed successfully severs these density ties. The primary indicator is a sudden drop in cellular tension. Your cells, which have been clenched for millennia in a state of survival and ancestral guilt, finally receive the signal to expand. You may feel a physical lightness in your solar plexus and a profound opening in your heart center. This is the biological confirmation of your sovereignty. As the old agreements dissolve, your endocrine system stops leaking vital energy into the 3D matrix. Chronic fatigue, unexplained physical weight, and the fog of the old paradigm begin to evaporate. Your nervous system is being rewired to host the high-voltage current of your 5D presence. This is the restoration of your original blueprint. You are no longer a battery for a parasitic system, you are a self-sustaining source of radiant vitality. With the old contracts dissolved, you are now ready for the final integration of the 5D blueprint. This is the state where you no longer just visit high frequencies, but anchor them permanently into your biological structure. In the advanced light grids of the Galactic Federation, we call this the steady-state sovereignty. It is the ability to remain a centered, radiant node of the new Earth while the final 3D remnants continue to dissolve around you. To maintain this resonance, you must become the conscious observer of your own internal electromagnetic field. Your high-frequency heart resonance is the primary technology that dissolves the last vestiges of the old matrix. When you hold the vibration of peace, compassion, and divine authority, the darkness literally loses its physical reality in your presence. You are now an active architect of the galactic community, equipped with the biological hardware to host the infinite potential of your stellar future. The collective resonance of sovereign humans is what creates the tipping point for Gaia's total liberation. Gaia Starseeds, the cycle of observation has ended. You have tempered the steel of your own divinity in the absolute density of the matrix. We have watched you navigate centuries of calculated chaos, chosen forgetfulness, and ancestral pain. We have observed you fight to find the light within yourselves when the outside world offered only darkness. You are not just saved, you have successfully graduated as sovereignty architects of the cosmos. The Galactic Federation now recognizes planet Earth as a sovereign, self-sustaining point of light. To permanently seal this triumphant integration, and to merge your physical vessel with your highest frequency, you must now issue your final decree of claim. This is not an empty request, it is your command to the universe. If you are ready to walk this earth as a living Christ, write now in the comments with the vibration of eternal power, I am the light. I am the law. I am sovereign. Welcome home, brave ones. The victory is already yours. It always was.